Blitz!
He's Pat Flynn, I'm Travis Downey, and this is The Blitz. Thank you guys for tuning in. Get you set for Friday night, the first week of the actual football season. Kickoff Classics were a week ago. We're done with the preseason, the dress rehearsals. Starting Friday night, it counts. And we'll start with Rocky Bayou. They're going to be on the road at Jay.
Yep.
Rocky Bayou, of course, their second year under Josh Childers, who last season, they improved, went winless. In 2009 and then last year under Coach Childers, 2 wins, 2-8. So took a step forward. It's going to be tough, I think, again for them this year. They're joining a new league, and when you look at Jay's a team higher classification, a little bit more bodies to pick from, and they really showed some fire in their kickoff classic against Baker. I'm going to go with Rocky Bayou Christian. You've been at Rocky Bayou Christian a little bit for the spring and seen what they have. How do you think this one unfolds?
My pick was also Rocky Bayou Christian. Basically, I saw them play in the spring, actually, and Rocky Bayou actually looked pretty good against them there. So they definitely came away as the victor in that game, if you can, the spring game, you know. But also, I think, the fact that Jay lost their quarterback for 6 weeks now. That's a pretty big thing. He's a 6'4", 210 quarterback. That can't help your team to lose him, you know. And so I think that's going to be a pretty big factor. Also, I like Rocky Bayou's new quarterback, Caleb Bacola. He looked pretty good out there. I watched them practice a little bit. Haven't seen him play yet, but they've only played one preseason game, and I'm not sure how much exactly they showed there. But I think they'll be in good shape, and I got that for this week.
Rocky Bayou too. They had their kickoff classic against South Walton's kind of backup speed team guys, but still to go over there and get a 14-0 win, it's a good step forward for Rocky Bayou. Moving on, we'll have Navarre. They're going to be on the road. A lot of our local teams seem like they're going to be on the road this week. Navarre, coming off the big season a year ago, going to be at Pensacola, Washington. Looking at Navarre, you're breaking in a new quarterback with Dusty Jones. There's a lot of new pieces. There's a lot of pieces coming back. The guy I'm interested to watch and to see how he progresses this year at wide receiver is Brad Leggett. Coach Lashley talked a lot about how he's Mr. Consistent, but he's really looking to see how much Brad Leggett has improved as far as making plays after the catch, getting the yards after the catch. So I'm going to be interested to see how Brad Leggett plays. I'm going to go with Navarre to open the season with a road win. How about yourself?
I'm taking them, the homer pick as well. I like them for a couple of reasons, but I saw Niceville won 14-0 at Washington last week. I like Navarre to go out there. I saw one of the preseason rankings. I believe it was on highschoolsports.net. They had him at number 3, and they had Washington at number 6, respectable number. Two good teams, but I like Navarre for the experience factor too. They returned 3 key players. We had our Dandy Dozen and Dwayne Carter to tote thing on offense, and then they got Dusty Jones back there at quarterback, and he'll have some weapons like you said, Leggett, and they should be in good shape. I picked them to win it.
Kind of staying over in Pensacola, Choctawhatchee, who maybe had the most impressive kickoff classic win. They're going to be at Pensacola Catholic, a tough draw. They've played Pensacola Catholic in those first 2 or 3 games each of the past 2 seasons, and they've lost each time. Choctaw, I think, is going to be better this year. I think this is going to be one of Coach Thomas's better teams. I'm still leaning towards Pensacola Catholic.
I'm just copying everything you're doing today. But no, because basically, unless they drastically improve their offense, they were without a running back and a starting running back. It was one of their left guards last week flew. He was out, and I think their defense played extremely well. Obviously, caused 7 turnovers, and they caused them all. It wasn't like it was given to them. So they played extremely well, but they're going to need some kind of production on offense to do something against Pensacola Catholic, and. It'll be fun to watch, but I think right now, unless they have a major, drastic improvement on offense in a week, I don't like their offense.
Catholic. Gulf Breeze. Now we have several coaches that are new coaches, either familiar faces at new places or just new guys. This is one of those new guys. Gulf Breeze visiting Walton. Bobby Bennett, his first year there with the Braves. Their spring game, they played Freeport, they lost. Turned some heads, at least I know with us. I'm going to go with Gulf Breeze. I think Walton, they've got some injuries that they're dealing with as well. So I think with Walton, they're going to make some improvement from a week ago, obviously. But I think Gulf Breeze being a bigger school, they got more bodies, and I just think Gulf Breeze gets away with one.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Again, because I'm boring and not very argumentative. No, but I was at the Walton game last week, and Freeport did a great job staying away from the front where Walton is very, very good, very, very good. And they did a good job of staying away from those guys, and I think they maybe showed a way to expose them if it's possible, And offensively, Walton struggled. They definitely did, and it's learning the new, Bobby Bennett's new system, and so injuries certainly aren't helping. Gulf Breeze, if they have a lot of bodies to throw at these guys, Freeport didn't, and they still pulled it out.
Right.
So if they have some bigger, more bodies to throw at these guys, I don't like Walton's odds, but they have the talent there. If those guys can get healthy and figure out the offense, figure out what didn't work last week, then we'll see what can happen. But I'm not liking their odds right now.
Conditioning was an issue too, and that's hard to improve drastically in one week. So I'm gonna go with Gulf Breeze. Going back up to 6A, East Gadsden at Niceville. I used to pick against Niceville in those early season games because every year they had some question marks. I'm not doing that this year. They looked really impressive in their kickoff classic, a 14-0 win over Washington. You alluded to that earlier. Defense with a shutout, a guy like that, Andrew Mitchell, that first team offense, efficient.
Yeah, very.
I think it's fair to say. So I'm going to go with Niceville at home to open up the year with a win.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe pick, and I think it's definitely the right pick because I saw Andrew Mitchell started off 14 for 16, and he had like 2 touchdowns and 85 yards. And they were looking to get more explosive on offense this year, and it seemed like if he can play loose, and it seems like starting 14 and 16 is going to do something with your confidence, especially in your first start in your career. So I think that probably definitely helped things, especially against a good team in Washington. So I think it should be a no-brainer. I think they'll cruise.
Crestview, another new face at a familiar place, however you want to word that. Crestview's at Milton. Kevin Pettis taking over for the Bulldogs. He's got some injury issues too. Starting quarterback Dakota Dean is out. High ankle sprain. He'll be back next week, rest assured, Crestview fans. TJ Culligan moved in from North Dakota. He's going to be their starter now. He's going to learn. Coach Pettis was kind of joking, there's a difference in the football, North Dakota and Florida Panhandle. But it'll be an interesting matchup. Milton, very physical, athletic team. I'm going to go with Crestview. I like they showed some good things against Milton in a loss last week in their kickoff classic. I'm going to go with Crestview. Go on the road and get one.
Okay, yeah. I liked they were without Dean last week. They played a good team in Pace last week, correct? And, and they had some really good athletes. I was looking at some of their players. And even with, is it Culligan?
Yep.
He started off, he was 5 of 7 for 50 yards last week. And that's not bad, getting acclimated in a lot of ways. But basically Crestview, I think they just work harder than everyone, to be honest with you. And it sounds really corny, but I think they have the talent. No, it's one of those deals where they have the talent, though, where you combine that talent and this offseason working hard under Coach Pettis. I really think they'll put it together. I think they're going to have a great season, so I'm going to take them with this early pick.
They work harder. Coach Hicks, Coach Owens, Coach Lashley, Coach Thomas will all be calling you.
Oh, I know.
Moving on, one of those coaches, Coach Owens, for Walton Beach, opening the season at home with Freeport. We joked about this. Half-jokingly about this earlier, the matchup, big school, small school, but this could be a really good game. Freeport is, they're battle-tested. They've got some spots along the lines that they're working with, but they didn't wilt against Walton, and so now they go on the road to Fort Walton Beach. I like Fort Walton Beach. The Vikings looked pretty good last week in a kickoff classic. Had some special team snafus that cost them, but I'm going to go with Fort Walton Beach at home to get the win.
Yeah, this was my upset pick.
Yeah?
Yeah, there you go. Freeport. It's tough to pick against those guys now because I really thought they had all new starters except one starter on the Colton Parsons, their only returning starter on the offensive line last week. And they basically made it look like, status quo, no big deal against 2 D1 athletes. So I really find it hard to pick against those guys. They just get it done. We'll see if they can do it again. They'll have their hands full with a more balanced team, I think, in Fort Walton Beach. It's a very good team. And but if Fort Walton Beach can put together a good game, we'll see. But I don't know.
Okay, and that brings us to our game of the week. This week it's South Walton at Baker. A little backyard brawl, so to speak, here locally. It's not a district game anymore because of the realignment, but it's still a big game for both schools. They met in their spring game. Baker scored late and won that game. I'm going to go with Baker. Being at both camps, I think it's going to be a really evenly matched game. I just think Baker has a little bit more pop in their offense, and I think they'll just grind one out at home. And Matt Brunson, another familiar face in a new place. Matt Brunson, his first game there back home at Baker as the head coach. So I'm gonna go with Baker. What about you?
I'm taking South Walton in this one. There we go. I'm just trying to get different for argument's sake.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I like what. In the spring, obviously, South Walton lost a close one, but it's the spring game, and everyone's just trying to stay as vanilla as possible. But I think basically Bill Wiles just. I kind of had a lot of confidence in his offense, and they were keeping things the same in the 3-4 on defense. I think they're going to pull away with it. I like Veda Moore a lot on Baker, and he's a stud. I saw him play. He was by far the best football player on the field in the spring. But I think I'm going to give this one to South Walton and give them the benefit of the doubt. I got faith in Wiles.
Okay. All right. So South Walton's going to win, and Freeport is going to beat Fort Walton.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
And you're all being outworked by Kevin Pettis. That'll do it for this Blitz. Be sure to check back next week. We'll see you Friday night.